What's up, everybody? My name is Dennis the Menace.
And I'm Iris the Vision, and if you're tuning in, you must be thirsty. But don't worry, we're here to quench your thirst on The Juice.
And tonight we have a very special guest in the building. She's a talented singer that's making big moves in the city, and she's got big things dropping very, very soon. Actually, tomorrow too. But let's give a big round of applause for Cauliflower.
You said it with like this spicy accent,
okay,
but cauliflower.
Cauliflower.
Collie.
Cauli.
Collie.
How do you spell it?
K-A-L-I.
I would say cauliflower. If I was reading it on paper, I would say.
Yeah,
You know,
that's why
a lot
I
of people
introduced
make that
myself.
mistake.
I'm like,
Okay.
Collie like cauliflower. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh.
I saw
okay.
like your
That makes
vlog, and so that's why you were like cauliflower. So I'm like,
Yes.
hey, I gotta make sure that we say it right. And we also have our guest host, Omen.
What's up? Gonna make it back. Appreciate y'all.
So tell us a bit about yourself and where you're from. You scared me. Oh my gosh.
Okay, my bad.
Okay.
Okay, we're good.
We're going with the flow here. Well, my name is Collie like cauliflower. I am originally from Oahu, Hawaii. I've been in Texas now since I was 8, so almost. Actually, never mind. I'm not gonna get my age out there. But yeah, I've been doing music. I've been in the PR marketing scene for a long time. Just anything creative is what I love. So fashion, beauty, music, and helping other people out, because community is definitely the biggest thing that helps me keep going, and what I feel like is the best foundation for any artist out there.
True.
So, you know, a little bit of everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Definitely gotta get out there and talk to people, network.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important as an artist.
You're like a jack of all trades.
Yeah, for sure.
In this new world that we live in.
Kind of have to.
Yeah,
For real.
for
Yeah.
sure. And I think that's why, like, for me, I don't know if you guys know this or if I told you this, but I started out, like, more so in a marketing background, so I can, like, learn the back ropes of things before actually going on the scene. So that's how I, like, cultivated that, like, network and community and just finding a lot of people in the DFW area, so that when it was time for me to come on the scene, I had that, like, solid foundation.
You were ready.
Yeah.
Did you go to school for it, or?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I went to UNT.
Okay.
Oh, dang.
Shout out.
Mavericks?
Mavericks.
No, that's a different one.
Yeah,
What's
UTA.
UNT?
UNT is a
The green one.
Yes, it's the Eagles.
right?
Close though.
Didn't you live close to Denton at one point?
Dang.
No,
Never mind.
not Denton. I lived in North Fort Worth. That's the closest.
Okay. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I went to school there, but that's where I went to marketing, because I wanted to go for music originally, but when you have Asian parents, it's not always the most promising career to take. So I was like, okay, what's a good middle outcome? And it was like, okay, let me go for public relations. That way I can still somehow be involved in the music industry, but make my parents happy. Which, if I could go back, I would definitely do it different and just go straight for music. But I think that it played out the way it was supposed to, for sure.
Nice. Did you also learn graphic design as well, like Photoshop and all that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't learn it though. Like, I was taught it,
Mm-hmm.
but Adobe Suite is one of the hardest tools
Yeah.
to use.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll stick with Canva.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy. We work in the print shop, so
Yeah.
we have a lot of people who are like, they get nervous about when we start talking about like Adobe, you know, the lingo about it, and they're like, I just did this on Canva.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, okay.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister actually went to school for PR, and she was telling me about it. She's like, yeah, Photoshop and all that.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where'd she go to school at?
She went to San Marcos,
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Texas State. I went a couple times when she was there. It's fun, party school.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Everything down there.
Right.
It's crazy.
It's fun.
I like it down there though.
Never been. Maybe I should go.
Yeah, I think you'd have fun. Maybe go tubing, go to the river.
That's definitely a must.
Ooh.
Have you ever done that, tubing?
Not in a river.
No?
No.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Hey.
It's the funnest thing you can do, literally, and it's hot, especially in the midsummer when it's hot. Just go out there and it's
Get your cooler on a
the one in
floaty.
San Marcos, it's, I was telling you the other day, I always forget. I think it's
The
the
New
Guadalupe River. So it's like a spring, international spring. So it's like it's freezing cold
Okay.
all year round. It's
4
freezing
hours.
cold all year round. So like it feels so good in the summer. You get a tube, you get your beers, you get your friends, y'all tube tie up, and you just
Some
float out there
snacks.
for like
That
3
sounds
hours.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
How
fun.
far is that from here?
I think like 3 hours, 3-4 hours, something like
That's a drive.
that. It's past Austin, so but it's fun. It's definitely fun.
Or if you want to do like the mini version, you can go to BSR in Waco,
Oh yeah.
and that's just like a little man-made one that you just go around, and you can bring your coolers there too and stuff. They have a big water slide. They have concerts there. I saw Waka Flocka there one time by accident. I did not know he was gonna be there. We're just like, is that Waka Flocka?
That's cool. Yeah, shout out him.
That shit was awesome. But what made y'all decide to move to Texas?
Well, my mom was in the military, so
Oh,
she got
okay.
stationed in Fort Hood. But I did have a choice to move here or stay there, and I had visited Texas. I want to say like maybe 3 years before I initially moved here because my grandparents were here, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Like we went
Oh,
all
really?
around Dallas, and I was like, yeah, I want to move to Texas. But again, I think it was meant to be because there's just a lot more opportunities here. As much as I love Hawaii,
How long have you been in Texas?
since I was 8.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's been a while. It's okay.
No one do math. No one do math. No one do math. But yeah.
Let's take it back to the very beginning. When did you first find out that you had like a voice or like some kind of like music passion that you wanted to make your own music?
I think it started off really young. I was in private school and they had a choir there and they had talent shows. And anytime those talent shows would come around, I was in like maybe 2nd or 3rd grade. I would get a group of my friends and be like, who wants to do this? Because like I'm gonna do it. And I found like maybe 2 or 3 girls who would want to do it with me. And I remember one year we did Sierra's 1-2 step. And I was like, and even if I ask my friends to this day who did it with me, they're like, yeah, you had us all lined up and had us doing the choreography over and over again. And I was like, yeah, because like I just loved performing for people. And this was a private school and I'm over here like doing Sierra. I think one year I did like TLC Scrubs too. But I think that was where I just knew I wanted to perform no matter like in what capacity it was. But it wasn't really until I moved here, which is crazy. I think I was watching like Hannah Montana back then. Oh, I might have just gave my age away, but I was like, I want to do that. Like I just want to sing. I want to be creative. I want to tour the world. So I think starting young, it just like naturally came. There wasn't like a moment where I was like, I want to be a singer. It just came naturally. Mm-hmm.
So I've heard you like hit some really high notes in your singing. Did you have to practice that a lot, or was that natural as well?
I think growing up, I just had a lot of inspirations who like they would sing really high. So Ashanti was one of them, and then more in my later years, it was Ariana Grande. And when you listen to their music so much, you sing along to it, so your voice just naturally gets adjusted to what theirs sounds like. So I think that's where the high notes came, but it was also a challenge for me because as an artist, I want to have a lot of vocal range. So it was a little bit, it just came naturally with me liking the artist that I liked, but also because I knew I wanted to be great with my range. So a lot of practice and then, you know, incorporating into my songs now.
It's like pushing it further each time.
Yeah.
I feel like if I had a voice, I could sing. Which I wish I could. But,
Dude,
But,
every guy says that. I could just drop one R&B album.
yeah. Kesha, what is it? Keisha Cole?
Mhm.
Like that one song that. Nah.
Oh yeah.
That song is like
Mhm.
I try to sing it. I love that song though.
You were kind of on pitch there.
Really? No?
Yeah.
Hey.
There you go. Hopes.
I like listening
Okay,
to
my
like
head
The
bit.
Weeknd and trying to like hit some of the notes.
Oh, he hits
too.
high notes.
Like Echoes of Silence. Have you heard that song?
I probably have.
It's
but I
like really old. It's from the trilogy. But
Oh.
he just like sings really high in some of those songs.
He also just kind of like has a high pitched voice. Like if you like, he doesn't have that many interviews, but the few that I've seen,
You were saying that
he's got.
he all he does is sing in
He only sings. I'm not dissing. I'm not
He
dissing.
does.
I'm not dissing him.
You said in falsetto?
But I think the majority of his songs are in falsetto.
Nah,
I love
I'll play Echoes of Silence for you one day.
We'll play that. Okay, just so I can hear it.
Okay.
There's like a video on social media that went viral of him just like talking naturally to someone, and I just like didn't expect his voice to sound the way
Is he in like
it
a
does.
black suit? He's like backstage, like
I
being really
think so,
friendly.
yeah.
Yeah, that was viral for a little while.
Is it high pitch? Does he have a high
It's
pitch
just like
voice?
not what I thought his
Like
voice
Michael
was
He
gonna
Jackson?
sound like.
he sounds like he's in a country club, just like, hey buddy, like you just got done, on the golf course.
Super
soft
sweet.
and nice.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, genuine nice.
Aw.
He's got a new show out. Supposedly it's like the
The
number
Idol.
one show right now.
I need to
I
watch
need to see
that.
yeah.
I love him.
Speaking of Idol and speaking of Hawaii, what's his name? Ian Tongi. Are you into American
The
Idol?
one who was just on his past season?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a little bit, but I
Okay,
stopped
okay.
watching American Idol.
His voice is so
Man,
good.
I started watching it probably like the past couple of years, like probably like since 2020. I started watching it again, and the past few times, it's like the person who's won has been like a white country singer. I'm like, okay, like there's
Of course.
way better singers than that, but on the other shows. But then this guy came, I was like, he's gonna win. He's gonna win the whole time. He's like, I was like, yeah, he won.
He had a
He
really
won?
good
Yeah, he won.
story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
His
he won.
story was like
Rep
so
Hawaii.
good.
Yeah,
It made
yes.
me like tear up.
Yeah.
I don't watch it, but I like have followed his story a bit throughout the journey. I'm like, oh my
No, he definitely
So
has
glad he
like a
won.
voice that's like just natural auto tune
Yeah.
type of voice. I was like, okay, yeah,
Yeah, I
he's
heard
gonna
a little bit of it. I was like, okay.
What season is American Idol on?
100.
21, I think.
Too many.
I'm sure it has to be.
I think it's
at least 20.
They're like the
21
Fast and
to
the Furious
25.
movies.
At least.
Somewhere.
I think the last one I watched was like William Hung.
No
not
fucking
even,
way.
Not even lying.
No man.
I started falling off after William Hung and like
I can't remember.
I don't even
Ruben
know
Sutter.
what that is. Yeah, Ruben Sutter.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I don't even know these
Fantasia.
people.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
I do
saying.
remember Fantasia,
Yeah.
yeah.
Kelly Clarkson.
The first season.
That was the first season.
I think so.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay, that's the one I remember.
Now she's a.
I think we're all telling our age right now.
Yeah.
Let's stop.
I'm definitely the oldest.
Everyone's
It's
like,
okay, they know.
I'm definitely the oldest, clearly.
People are gonna watch this and be like, what? What are they talking
They're all
about?
doing
Old
that.
people.
Kelly Clarkson. Well, she's a talk show host. We'll just say she's a talk show host.
What is? She's on The Voice, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Some
She's a
seasons,
judge on The
yeah.
Host.
Oh.
Judge.
A judge? No, she's a judge on The Voice.
Mhm.
She's from Burleson.
Yeah, she is from.
She's from Burleson.
Yeah, I know she comes back sometimes and hangs out, but I always miss
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'll take her. Are you playing instruments?
No, the only one I ever got close to playing was piano, but it was like YouTube taught, so I would pull up a video and just watch where their fingers were going and just learn that way. But
Well, it's sometimes the best way to learn.
I want to though.
Yeah.
I do want to get there eventually. Yeah.
Is that what you want to learn? If that's the instrument of choice?
Yeah, I've always been between that and guitar, but I always hear people complain about playing guitar. So
Like,
Acoustic or like
yeah, acoustic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, she's gonna be a rock
supposedly,
star,
if you,
electric
like, if
guitar.
you learn how to play piano, then
Absolutely.
you gotta play every instrument after that. Because you know
Really?
like the notes.
Mm.
I guess playing it by
chords.
ear, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the same.
Because I know guitar, like I know my chords on there, but I don't know how to do the chords on the piano. It's weird. It's like a
Yeah.
flip flop.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But I just like my dad taught me from a little kid, so I kind of just know
Okay.
basic, very basic.
That's still
I need to hear
good.
that.
Yeah.
So I heard you're like a little bit about positivity and like sending a good message. What do you do when you feel like things aren't going well? Like how do you stay positive in those circumstances?
That's a really good question. Where'd you hear that? Where'd you hear about the positive from?
I was reading what you sent us.
Okay. I think for me, just because I did grow up in Hawaii, and I feel like when you're around that kind of environment where everyone's just so happy, and I feel like it does have something to do with being near an ocean, just the magnitude naturally lifts people's moods up. But growing up in that kind of environment, I think I kind of took that with me here to where even when bad things happen, I try to just turn it around. But I've learned to definitely let myself feel it now instead of, push it under the rug because it always comes back up.
Yeah.
And then once I allow myself that space to feel after that, just looking at, having gratitude for what I do have in the moment now. Just because when you focus too much on everything that's wrong, you're manifesting a bunch of negative things into your life. And that's just not what I want. So I try to do that. I try to teach other people that. In my music right now, it's not so much that, but it'll get there. I have like a whole plan with where I want to go with my music.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you're really right about like if you just keep sweeping it under the rug, it's just like it'll come out when you're drinking, whenever you're mad and you can't
Yeah.
hold it in anymore. Like it just.
I've always heard of the metaphor like
Ruptures.
it's like building blocks where like each problem stacks up,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually like it's too many problems that are stacked up, it'll just fall like Jenga.
Exactly. And then you blow up.
I I beat Jenga one time.
One time?
You can't beat Jenga.
Yes, you can. You can't put any more blocks. There's nothing else to take out. It's like stacked all the way up. Then it's beat.
Is that the rules?
I don't think.
I've
There's
never done
nothing else
that.
you can do. Like if there's no
Are you
no
versing
other.
yourself?
No, it was with someone else. Okay, just
I don't think I've
imagine.
ever-
You know with Jenga, you have to pull out the blocks, and you have to make sure it's stable. Well, eventually you pull them all out to where there's nothing else you can pull without it falling for like no matter what.
Okay, so I clearly lose way before this. Way before.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever made it that far either.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
It's really tall.
No, I'm
Yeah.
never.
I remember. No.
Dang.
Whoever you were playing with, you guys are
It was in
pro
Mexico.
Jenga athletes.
Jenga Masters.
Yeah.
It was in
I wanna see
Mexico.
that.
It was some good Jenga blocks.
Mhm.
They have to be good Jenga blocks to be able to do that.
Competition in Mexico for Jenga.
Sounds rigged.
Maybe. I don't know. There wasn't any glue involved.
I'm kidding.
So I know you had a show not too long ago. I think it was for Amplify 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How did that come about? Like, how were you like featured on the show?
Yeah, so 88 Killa, a rapper from Fort Worth, one of my really good friends that I've known for years, he actually was the first person to ever hit me up when I got into music. I was actually his publicist before that, doing like helping him with PR. So he hit me up to do a song, and I was like, I'm so down. Like, I just want to do a bunch of features this year. So he came to me with this idea of doing kind of like an Ashanti Ja Rule type of song, which I love Ashanti, and I love that era of music. So I'm like, yes. So we did. Yeah, so we did Passenger Seat together. And so it was actually his show, he was the headliner.
Okay.
And he asked if I wanted to perform Passenger Seat, and that was my first time performing since 2016 or 15. It had been a while. So that show just meant a lot to me, and I'm very appreciative that he let me share the stage with him. So
Yeah.
that's how that whole thing came
Kind
about.
of ignited a fire in you. Like, I want more now.
Yeah, yeah, especially because my last performance back in the day was not that good.
No.
So I was like redemption.
Okay. Nice.
Did you have fun doing it?
I did. For me, you know, it's always a little nerve-wracking getting on stage and performing. Like with the music aspect, I love writing
Yeah.
music and recording it and creating content around it. The performance side is still something that I'm working on. Just like, I think because I'm an anxious person, and I look at people like, you know, Sia, who wears a wig to kind of cover up and like control her anxiety on stage. So I'm just trying to break out of that and get better at performing.
Yeah.
I respect people who do that because it's like it brings more focus to the art versus the person.
Right.
You know, it like
Mhm.
forces you to look at what they're doing instead of being so. And also, there's like a mystery behind it too, what they do. So
Exactly.
yeah.
I love what Sia does.
Yeah.
I think it's genius.
See, you can't see.
Her little twin that she has, little Sia twin.
Yeah, her little dancer.
Yeah. That's cute. So what's your favorite genre of music?
Oh, R&B. Specifically, like 90s, 2000s R&B. Is my absolute favorite. I'll always go back to those.
That's this guy here. At work, he just be playing R&B.
slow jams.
Yes. It's just, I feel like you can tell a lot from someone's personality depending on like what their favorite genre of music is. And I'm just a very like chill and calm person, so R&B just like naturally vibes with my frequencies. But you know, 2000s R&B was just an era.
For real. Usher.
Usher, Ashanti.
Usher until we found out he had herpes.
Yeah.
Everything was really good until we found out he had
But
herpes.
you gotta separate the artist from the music, you know?
It wasn't his fault.
Well, there's
It was.
there's some people
So what
you
do you
can't say that
mean?
about though. There's some people you can't say that about. Like R. Kelly's an example of that.
Yeah.
But you can't say that he's got bangers. I mean,
Oh, it's so hard.
I know,
like
right?
like the what was it, the Space Jam soundtrack? I Believe It Will Fly.
Can't play it.
I still unintentionally sing it when I watched them singing.
Trapped in the Closet.
I had the DVDs
Dude, I did too.
and when it,
Yeah.
and then when it got to the mid jazz,
You ever see that? Trapped in the Closet, like the actual like play?
No.
It's
Yeah.
funny. It's so
you've
a
heard the
lot.
song though.
Yeah.
Dude, he did like a extended what it's like. You ever seen Scary Movie?
Mm-hmm.
You know how after the third one it just becomes
Redundant.
it's enough.
Yeah.
Like, it's enough. He went like 3 DVDs past
You
that.
got pulled over at some point in the video. One of the videos.
Oh,
Which
in the
one
cop?
was that?
So you made it pass for that. I think
And the cop was the one that was
Yeah, messing with his wife. Or his, it's crazy.
The story just gets
Yeah.
crazier and crazier and crazier. The only part that I know is that it gets to the point where a midget pops out of the closet.
Oh yeah, the midget.
Someone was cheating with the midget.
Oh, okay.
It gets, and then they know a separate where it goes even further past that.
Man, I don't know if you guys make me not want to watch it or.
Probably should.
You should watch it. You
I
should
think
watch
you
it. It's
should.
one of those things where it's like just to get
You're
it
gonna
out.
be cringing the whole
Yeah, just
time,
to
but
know.
it's like interesting, and then at some point you're gonna be like, nah, I'm done with this.
Okay, I'll
Before
try.
the ending, I'm sure you'll be like, nah, this is enough.
Yeah.
Because that's how I felt. I'm like, what am I watching now? It's too much. So if you could perform anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
I feel like, as cheesy as it sounds, Hawaii. Just because like that's my home, and I feel like it's always cool when an artist goes back to where they grew up in and was raised, and just to get that kind of support from them. I just like I
Like a
want to make
homecoming show and
Yeah.
something crazy.
I want to make them proud because I feel like a lot of Hawaiians who come out and make it in the music industry, like Bruno Mars for example, every time he goes to Hawaii, he always has to add another show to his tour because people go crazy for it. But I mean, I probably need to do a little.
I didn't know he was from Hawaii.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like he doesn't rep it. I don't even think he does much for the island, you know. And I
I'd
just
be repping it if I was from there for sure.
right. So I want to go back. I want to do so much for the island, you know, once I make it.
That'd be
That's
tight.
awesome.
That'd be tight.
So, other than Bruno Mars, like who else is from? Because like I really don't hear people like if they are from Hawaii rep it that.
The Rock.
Oh yeah, you're right. There is that.
He reps it, and Jason Momoa.
Okay, yeah.
But not like artist wise, but like.
Yeah. What was the over the rainbow guy? What's his name? Is he?
Oh, Brothers.
Yeah, he's cool.
Rest in peace.
I like White Sandy Beaches, that song.
Yeah, oh, you know that song. That's dope. Everyone's like somewhere over the rainbow.
Yeah, no. I mean, that song's good, but White Sandy Beaches, that was
Yeah. That's what's up.
So you got something big dropping tomorrow.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So I have a song. It's actually being premiered tomorrow on KXC, but it drops officially on Friday, June 9th at midnight. But I have a song with the Fort Worth artist Pretty Dim, who was on your show,
Yep.
as
Shout
well
out
as shout out him, as well as Desmond Walker, and we came together collaboratively and worked on this song. It's called Day Ones. So it's really an anthem for the summertime to celebrate with your friends, the people who have been there supporting you from the start, even people you meet along the journey who just like ride for you. So that's what the song's about. I think everyone should bump it with their friends in their cars this summer. But it drops June 9th on all platforms.
Nice. And this is your first official? Oh, sorry.
Oops. You go ahead. You go ahead.
This is your first like official song?
Yeah, as me by myself.
Yeah.
Because I've had a lot of features now, but this song I don't even really claim it as like my song. I really claim it as all three of our songs. 'Cause
Okay.
we're putting a lot of time and
Like
effort.
collab effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to write that? Like, do you have a day one that you think of whenever you hear it?
Well, what's crazy is I had a lot of different takes when we were writing the song. When I initially started with it, it had a different type of more like clubby feel to it. But then a lot of the people we showed that sample to was like, this isn't it. So I'm like, okay, back to the drawing board. And what's crazy is I did it in less than 24 hours. I redid my part, Des redid his part, and we came together and it just worked to where it was focused on our friends and day ones. It's just like a really upbeat song. So when I think of upbeat, I think of like happy, and when I think of happy, I think of the people that I love who are around me, and so it just naturally came out as like day ones, you know, the people who have been there, and Des did a great job of doing his feature, and Pretty did a great job of just making sure the production really went with what we created.
Yeah, he's good.
He's
awesome.
crazy good.
He's gonna go places for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we're going places.
Thank
For real.
What's your favorite food?
Ooh. I have like a type of favorite food, but I don't have like a specific dish.
Okay.
So it's between Thai food and Hawaiian food.
Okay.
Like Thai food's just, I don't know, I can eat it whenever.
Pad see ew.
I've never had that before.
It's like the flat noodles, the thick flat
Oh,
noodles.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like pad thai, but just flatter noodles.
Okay, I never tried that.
Yeah, she bought them for. There's one podcast we did. I think Eric Evans like specifically.
Oh,
requested
yeah.
that. and I don't even think you ate yours, and I was just sitting there. Just,
You freaking stole half of
it
mine.
was so good. I could not.
It would not stop eating mine.
Thai food is the best. It's the best. And then Hawaiian food as well. Have you guys ever had Hawaiian food?
I don't think I have. I think I have.
I was gonna ask that, like, going.
There's a customer that came in. He's from Guam. He said it's kind of similar.
It is, yeah.
Kind of like, yeah.
It's a little bit more like Hispanic kind of
Okay.
influences in Guam though, but it's pretty similar, yeah. But if you've never had it, I would definitely tell you places to go here.
Okay, tell us.
Not
Yeah,
Hawaiian Bros.
Oh, I was gonna say that. I've heard of Wine Bros. Okay, it's not the same.
No shade, no tea, but that's like the most whitewashed Hawaiian
It's like
food
Olive
I've ever
Garden.
tried.
It's like Taco Bell for Mexican food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Hawaiian Bros.
Wait, but y'all have like barbecues, right? Like is it like like chicken?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, barbecue
grilled chicken
chicken.
stuff.
It's like kind of Korean style. If you've ever had like KBBQ, it's kind
Okay,
of
okay.
kind of close to that.
I'm gonna try them.
You have to.
Mhm.
L&L.
I've never
L&L
had
is the
anything
place to
that's
go.
like labeled
Where's that?
In Frisco.
Oh, okay, okay.
If you ever end up on that side of
Yeah.
the town.
Well, maybe when aren't they building Universal Studios over there?
There've been a lot of
Yeah.
stuff in Frisco.
Well, that's when we'll end up over there.
There's a Portillo's over there now.
Mm-hmm. It's a good place to be, but it's getting too expensive over there.
This whole town.
Gentrification.
Not even that because Frisco's so like upscale.
I think I didn't remember. There's so many places in Texas.
I think that's where the Cowboys practice at.
Mm-hmm. The Star.
In Frisco?
Have you been to Cowboys yet?
No, I don't think I've ever been to a Cowboys game.
No.
I also don't really like the Cowboys.
Okay. Yeah, all the fans
Go
will come out
Browns.
there.
Cleveland Browns?
Yeah.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I just like underdog teams.
Oh, okay. That's
What?
so I'm from Ohio. Like I grew up in Ohio.
Okay. Yeah, you said
So
that.
everyone there, like, I mean, they're obviously like diehard fan. They sit there and watch the game, and they're just like, all right, like, let's have some hope.
No lose.
And then, you know, towards the end, they're just like, dude, fuck it, let's just get hammered. Yeah. And then they argue with any other team that's there, and it's like,
I mean,
Does it make you hate football?
Cowboys
I'm
are
not
hard
in sports at all.
I was
so
gonna
I
say,
just
kind
watch
of sounds like
them,
the Cowboys.
It's not
Yeah.
far from them.
Yeah.
See, what I was telling him is that,
I mean, we got championships though.
yeah, I feel like the Cowboys has like,
It's been
I'll say y'all,
ages.
it's like, I don't claim everything and anything Ohio. I just grew up there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Ohio.
that's fair.
He'd be mad when I be talking.
So what do you love most about creating music?
Storytelling. I've always been like a writer since I've been little. I don't know. I just loved writing. English was my best but worst subject because we have like broken English in Hawaii, so it's very different. But I just loved writing. I remember when I was a kid, I used to send my family back home once I moved here. Like my mom would take me to go to those, glamorous studios to get like pictures done. And I don't know why I felt the need to do this, but every time I would send something back home to them, I would write a story that goes with the picture.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know
funny.
why. But that just like translated into my lyrics, and like I like to make them a little bit more poetic in a sense. You're not gonna get any of that with the music I have coming out now, but that's what I love doing. So I think it's just being able to tell a story, being able to take a memory or experience and expand on it, whether it's something I fully experienced or something that I could imagine what would happen based off of something that I did go through.
Okay.
Have you ever written any like short stories or like scripts or like, well, other than those, but like recently, I guess, as in your adulthood?
No, not really. I mean, I journal so that it definitely could become a movie with like how crazy my life is, but other than that, no.
If you scripted it out.
Yeah.
Nice.
You should write like music video stories. You know, like the whole scenes of music videos, because some of them get
Yeah.
really intense, and I'm just like, damn, you should be made into a movie.
I like music videos like that.
I seen a crazy one. I don't even know. I was watching YouTube. It was like a country song. I think I was telling you about it. It was like the craziest fucking country song music video ever. It was like,
What song was it?
Yeah.
it's that new girl, the Lainey Wilson, that everyone thinks that she has like a big butt. She had like the cheetah pants. I don't know.
I don't know country at all.
But
I don't know her
There's a-
music, but I
there's a
have
crazy
seen
video.
her butt on social media.
yeah,
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
it is.
Yeah, it's like viral for like a
It's
long
like I don't know. I kept like seeing
She's like a
people
Taylor,
share it on
she's
my
like a Taylor
Facebook.
Swift, but with a little, little thing on it.
Oh gosh.
But what happened to that music video?
I can't even explain it. Like,
um,
it's basically that like her husband was beating on her, and then like the neighbor came. Like he's like the kind of like the main country singer in like the song.
Oh, the neighbor.
Yeah, like I mean they're playing it out there.
Yeah.
But he goes over and like sees what happened, and he starts beating the husband, and then he shoots him. And then like now he's in jail, like going to trial, and she's like trying to stand up for him, like, no, he saved my life.
Dang. Yeah. So
That's
you should
crazy.
where some
That's
stuff like
That's
that.
crazy.
I feel like a lot of country music videos are like that, where they just have craziness. Well,
No, me and my sister were watching music videos one day on, it was like loop at the restaurant.
yeah.
All they do is sit next to the ocean or sit in a field and have some blonde bitches and have a water slide and drink beer. Like that was mostly all of the country music videos that
Hang
we
on
saw.
the back of the truck.
Yeah, an old ass truck,
Summer vibes.
some sunglasses, a guitar. That was it.
I've never seen a country music video in the winter. That's set in the winter.
Yeah,
I've also
true.
never seen that many country.
Yeah, me neither.
I haven't seen one, and I've seen them.
Shania
I
Twain,
always-
Philip Woman.
Is that in the winter?
No, it's a bunch of guys like. Yeah.
I always ever see them where they're like forearm posted on the window, and it's like raining outside, and they're like, looking out through it, and like it's like a little fog vision of like.
You think
the
you have George
girl shaking
Strait?
out. Probably, 'cause I love George Strait. That's if we're talking about country. That's the only country I enjoy.
I don't know a lot of country. Tim McGraw's probably as far as I know because my grandparents listen to him.
That's me with George Strait.
I've been liking Morgan Wallen.
I can't remember his name. I think it's Zach Bryan.
Oh, yeah, is it?
His voice is so good. I could just listen to him all day.
Oh, Angel White. Shout out to
Angel White, yes. Have you heard of Angel White?
Was that a local artist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's actually like one of my like good friends. But we started out like in a. Well,
His voice
started
is
out.
so good, too.
I was making beats. He was rapping. Like that's how we started out. Then we ended up like making a band. We were kind of like a little bit of rockish, like
Mhm.
hip hop. And then shit happened. Band split up. And then he just like went his own way and just kept doing music. And like now he's like touring for like big people, like big country artists,
Wow.
opening up for people like
So it's all-
everywhere. Just he was at the CMT Country Music Award and like
What's his name?
Angel White.
Angel White.
Yep.
Shout out Angel White.
Doing big things for sure. For sure.
Yeah, he has a great voice.
Sure.
So, would you rather win the lottery or meet the love of your life?
You just throw out a would you rather question.
Yes. Yep.
Like, you said win the lottery or meet the love of my life.
Mhm.
Oh, this is a difficult one. For me, I think it would probably be win the lottery. Only
Okay.
because I have a very unique perspective on when it comes to love, and I feel like winning the lottery, I could just do a lot more impact with that money
Okay.
before I leave this earth.
She said the same thing.
Well, not like that, but I would rather win the lottery too, I think. If that was the situation.
Don't want to find all
It would come though, you know, like that's something that could
for
probably
the money.
come.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
Someone's
is
got
if
to
you're
really
that
prove it to you.
rich.
Someone's got to really prove it
Well,
to
they
you.
wouldn't know,
everyone.
you know, they wouldn't know that I won the lottery. That's the thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
They can Google it.
I thought you could say like anonymous though,
Oh yeah, you can.
so no one would know.
I've seen where people dress up as like some ridiculous costume.
Right,
They have
to get
take
it.
that like picture to get their check. I
That's
saw
like
this
a
one
cat.
where this someone in Japan or something did that, and it's a father of like a family that they do okay, but he said that he still wants his family and his children to work just as hard as they're working right now, and they don't. He obviously he's gonna take care of them, but he doesn't want them to know about it. So he's like,
Dang.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the right way to do it, in my opinion.
So as an artist, like what's the importance of like chasing your dream and like just trying to get it, you know, doing things that like going out, you know, networking and stuff like that. Like what's the importance of you like as far as like, you know, trying to chase that dream and achieve it?
I mean, I think that when it comes to that question for everyone. It's different for me. I think it's just like a way of life almost. For me, the importance is just knowing that this is my dream, and I don't ever want to look back and be like, dang, I never tried, or I never even gave it time. I don't want to be bitter because I feel like I know my personality, and if I don't go after what I want, I'm always gonna sit there and be like, why didn't I just do that?
Yeah.
So for me, it's just kind of almost letting my inner child just live out what she's always wanted to do. You know, I mean, I talked about performing as a little kid, and that's like always was my passion, kind of being the center of attention in a room and things like that. So for me, it's just living out her dream, but also doing something that I love doing every day. Like right now, I have a corporate job. Not to say that there's not like its benefits and advantages, but it's definitely not something I go to and I'm like, oh, I love being here. I'm giving it my all. I'm so passionate about this. And I just feel like if we're here on earth for such a short amount of time, why not do something that fulfills you every single day?
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can like, I mean, you can live your life like that, and then like you said, like this, you'd be 50 years old, you're like, damn,
I should have done
I
that.
should have done that. Yeah.
And I hear so many people say that.
I mean, parents, I'm like, you know, my parents, I'm sure like they had dreams, and you know they had to just do their shit, raise us and all that. You know, there's a lot of factors in it too, but yeah, definitely like why not just at least try it. And that's a lot of thing with a lot of people is they just don't take that extra step or they don't take that risk.
They just think that they can't do it because of their age or because of where they live or stuff like
Or
that.
they're just
That's sad.
like they're just like content with like what they have. Like, okay, I'm good, I'm safe.
Mhm.
You know, they don't like change and stuff, which is a big thing. People don't like change. They don't like, you know,
Coming out of their shell.
Yeah, coming out of their shell. So
Yeah.
and it's one thing I always said with this podcast is like, I feel it now too. Like I've become way more social because I'm like she's the social one. I'm kind of more like, I'll say hi if you say hi to me first, you know.
Yeah.
But like now I'm like okay, you know, I'm more like open. I'm like talking with everybody and working and stuff. Like, and I feel a lot better.
And that's
from that.
good. That's what I feel like as a creative, you're constantly going to be facing challenges and things that push you outside of your comfort zone. And not a lot of people like that. And I think that's why over time you see a lot of people fall off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the people who stay consistent with it, like they actually do something. But what I like about that too is you go from having like this almost limited mindset to being limitless.
Yeah,
as
the
cheesy
world
as
is
that
yours.
sounds. Yeah, because you know that if there's anything you want to do or set your mind to, when there's a will, there's a way.
Right.
And I think when you have that kind of confidence in life, I don't know, just makes life more valuable.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just changes your whole like outlook on life once you're able to get that mindset. Like you're just like you just shine a different way, and then you feel like other people can look up to you then, and you can kind of show them how you found your way too.
Yeah, and you can take those things in like every aspect of your life. You know, it's not just in your career or passions, it's in your family, it's in how you treat yourself every day. It's just really valuable.
Gotta do stuff for yourself for sure.
Follow
Take
your
advantage.
dreams.
Take it.
Always follow your dreams.
Yes, we're gonna be that Pinterest quote.
Live, laugh, love.
Oh my gosh. So what is it like being a female in the music industry?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. I was like, I think you asked me that. I have this one TikTok I like kind of went off on about that, but I mean, there's definitely like their downs and ups. I can tell you guys a lot of horror stories about it, but I can also tell you a lot of things that I feel like only happen because I am a female in the music industry. So it kind of, I mean, it's like everything else in life. There's an ebb and flow, a yin and yang to it. Obviously, the downsides of being a female in the music industry is having to move past the people who feel like they have this sense of like power or like entitlement. Like I've been in studio rooms where like the producer, let's say that I'm working with, has ulterior motives, and the whole time I'm in the studio getting ready to like want to do my music, and then I end up 4 months later not having anything done, and now he's asking me like on a date, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you go through a lot of sketchy situations, but at the same time, I think in today's day and age, it's so empowering to be a female in the music industry. I mean, look at everyone blowing up right now. It's a lot of females.
Yeah.
It's that like girl power. So.
Definitely. I felt like because I like a music page and I was always reporting on that, like the females that are killing it right now. There's like Megan Thee Stallion and Doja Cat, like when they're all coming up. I'm like, damn, like they're killing it right now. Like they're like beating some of the guys are now doing bigger numbers than them right now.
Exactly.
It's crazy. Especially now to see like where they're at. We're live studio audience right now.
There's the kids.
I knew it was gonna happen.
They're cheering.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, I get this.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Bottle number 2.
But I also think too, because I do want to touch on this, it's like you do, I feel like personally, and maybe you guys might agree or disagree, that females have to try way harder than males in the music industry.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's definitely a thing. It's like a stigma where it's like you have to out-sing everybody in the room. You gotta do like you gotta step it up.
Or you have to give something
Even over
up
the guys.
to be able to be like, I don't know, for people to see you as something better. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like
that's messed up.
it's I'm not a big fan of like super like heavy alpha energy, but like women in the music industry like have to do that
Mm-hmm.
to. I mean, Nicki Minaj is a good example where it's like when she was blowing up during her time, she's very like
Like,
alpha.
fuck these bitches.
She's very alpha-ish, and like with men or women, she stands her ground, and I feel like most women have to be like that now, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's kind of become like that too, where like women are more independent, empowering.
As it should.
Men, I don't know, kind of like going the opposite way too. So I'm being honest.
That's the juice.
Yeah, that is the juice.
The tea.
Oh, wait, I want some wine.
It's wine.
Wine.
It's good. Yeah, this is gone.
So for someone that's never been to Hawaii, what are some of the places that you would recommend like visiting?
Girl, I have a whole vlog. And I made this vlog for anyone who asked me that question too. It depends what you're wanting to do, you know, is it food, is it activities?
I guess for
is
the
it-
views and the ocean, like the
Oh, then like the hiking spots are probably like the best. For the ocean, I definitely always advise any tourists to avoid the North Shore. There's been so many tourists who have made that mistake and they end up losing their lives from how powerful the waves are and then just like not knowing. So definitely like stay away from the North Shore unless you're a pro at swimming in the ocean. But my favorite hikes to do where you can go all the way to the top and just like have this beautiful view of the island, and sometimes you can even see like the neighboring islands from how high you are, is for beginners. I like to suggest this trail called Makapu'u Lighthouse Trail. So that one's just like a smoothly paved path that goes all the way to the top to the lighthouse where you can oversee. And then my other favorite one is one called Pillbox. That one is like you have to be good at hiking though, because it's so hard to get up there because it's an actual mountain all the way up. But the view
Oh,
is
it's
so
high.
pretty.
It's worth it.
It's so worth
Yeah.
it, yeah. And there used to be one called Stairway to Heaven that was the tallest hike I think in Oahu, but so many people were dying from falling off because they would like go off the path and they
Dang.
closed it down.
That's scary. That's why they call it Stairway to Heaven.
oh my gosh.
Wait.
Dang.
Dark humor over here.
RFE.
Yeah, I for sure want to go one day though. I've just heard it's like super expensive over there if you're like a tourist to go stay over there.
Yeah.
But
I would suggest going with a group of friends if you can. Split an Airbnb, so
Yeah.
much cheaper.
Have you ever surfed?
Yeah, I did once. And the one time I went surfing, first of all, I was with someone who was a pro at it. Not like a pro surfer, but like they've surfed a lot. And they didn't tell me like what type of like bikini to wear. So I went in with like a strapless bikini,
oh my
which
gosh.
don't ever do that if you're trying to surf. And then while we were in the ocean, because I was there with two of my friends, one was on a board with me and then the other one was in the ocean. And I want to say maybe 5 minutes after we just started getting like the hang of it, they called everyone to come out of the ocean because there was a shark. And the guy who was teaching us how to surf was like, "Oh, I thought I felt something going across my leg,"
What?
and I was like,
That's terrifying.
"Wait."
Oh my gosh.
But I'm gonna go surfing again when I go back down this week.
You're gonna post some videos of it?
I'm gonna try. If I do good, only if I do good.
How long is the flight?
Straight flight from here about 8 hours.
That's not
Dang.
It's not bad.
Well, I mean, I hear like other, like you go to Europe, it's like 12, 14 hours.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the longest flight we're gonna. Well, I was a kid when we went to Mexico, and that was from Ohio. It wasn't a straight flight, but like There was one that I think was around maybe 6 hours, but if you're 12 years old, 6 hours seems like 12.
I mean, from here to like El Paso is like fucking 8 hours. That is huge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you could
I
be
know.
in Texas for 8 hours still driving.
Yeah, getting out of
South
Texas
Padre
is
Island,
much.
that's like 8.5 hours.
Yeah.
I wish it was closer. It's so pretty there.
It's funny when I moved here. I remember we were in my school, like setting myself up to be put into this elementary in my neighborhood, and this lady came up to us because I think my grandma at the time still had her Hawaii license plate on her van, and she was like, "Did you guys drive here from Hawaii?"
Yeah,
Oh
we rode the
my
Magic
God.
Ferry.
I was like, "That'd be really cool if they had a highway
You
though."
just smack your leg and be like, literally how? How would we do that?
I just thought it was so funny.
There's a Magic Ferry that flies.
Right.
So what's your favorite thing about like the DFW area?
I would say just how diverse it is, and not just within like the cultures and people are here, but it's also within like the opportunities that are here. Like you can be anything you want to be in DFW at this point. I think that's what's attracting so many people to move here, because you have music, you have fashion, you have. I mean, if you're more into just being in like the healthcare or like politics, you can do that too. There's so
Companies
many
and all
things
that
you
too.
can do here. Yeah. And a lot of companies are being headquartered here, so I think just the opportunities, like if I want to go and experience the country, I can do that. If I want to go to the city, I can do that. You know,
Yeah.
there's just so many things you can do here.
For sure. Because you can literally go to the city and like drive like 10 minutes out and you're like already in the country.
Right.
That's where I'm gonna drive after this. Middle of nowhere.
The sticks.
It's nice though, it's chill.
Yeah, you gotta appreciate the country because it's like calm and quiet.
Yeah,
Yeah, the city's getting a little too hectic now too. A lot of crime, a lot of crazy people.
for real. I'm more of a
If you
country
were able
person
to build
anyways.
your dream home to be in the city or in the country.
That's so hard.
Or the beach.
I would say country. I want some land so I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, see, that's fair.
But also, I'd probably be there and then be like, I want to spend like a week or something.
Have
in
a
the city
condo
where-
in the city.
Yeah.
Or because like where everything's so tight together and within a certain distance of each other versus if I want to go do something casual, I've got to drive an hour away.
Yeah.
You know.
That's why I like kind of like in
Mhm.
between. Like Frisco's a nice in between. It's
That's how
not
I feel.
super city, but it's also not like super country.
Right.
It's just like the
Yeah.
middle ground.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that here. This
Burleson.
Yeah.
This is my first time in Burleson.
For real.
Yeah, that's a long drive. A really long drive.
Thanks for making it out.
Yes,
Thanks for having
thank
me.
you.
Would you rather have a big house or a bunch of land?
See, I would say a bunch of land only because I know what I could do with that. That's legendary moves. A bunch of land. Plus, big house, you gotta like maintain it and clean it.
Or hire a maid. You know,
I
hire a
mean,
maid.
yeah, but
There's a big trend of people on TikTok right now. They're like, just you and your friends get together, buy some land, and start building your own community.
I
You
saw
know,
that.
Start growing your own vegetables,
Right.
plants.
You know,
all
I've been
that.
saying that for years.
Just go
self-sufficient.
backwards.
Yeah.
A cult.
Oh.
No, not a
See,
cult.
every time I say that, he does that. It's
Is
a
it?
cult.
Because cults have like
It just-
dark energy behind
It's
them.
okay.
Yeah.
And you heard what happened at
Brainwash.
Waco.
Here's the reason why I said that.
Oh
The
no.
only difference between a cult and just a group of buddies is that someone has to purchase that land, right? Unintentionally, that person kind of has more say than everybody else. Am I right?
But I feel like cults, they
That's where it
worship
gets-
someone.
That's where
But
it
if
gets
it's
fun.
a group of friends, then
No.
you're not worshiping
Okay, yeah.
someone.
No, okay, yeah, you're right. Cults do
I
work.
think it's just like set of beliefs that you have. You know, as long as
Yeah.
the person who owns the land isn't pushing their beliefs.
Yeah,
on
you're not forcing all your friends to believe in a certain thing. Like,
Yeah. Like what's his name?
not a cult.
The dude from Waco.
She wants to do
All
it.
I see,
Don't call it a
I've just seen a lot of documentaries.
I've been
Where-
thinking about it for a long time
I've seen a
now.
lot of documentaries where it was, it was really nice, and we got there, and then all of a sudden, a month into it, I had to give someone my kid.
What?
You ever seen the documentary?
No.
I believe it.
One
I
of
believe
Waco.
they're
One
out
of
there.
Waco's a good example.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Which is funny
Waco
because they're in
movies.
the documentary talking about what happened,
I gotta watch that.
and they still stand by that shit, which is crazy too. because it's crazy how like brainwashing works.
Yeah.
You don't really
The
know.
one with the child brides.
I haven't seen that one.
Yes.
Is it?
Well, yeah, like he was like sleeping with like underage girls. Like,
That happens in all of them.
okay.
Oh my god. See, I don't watch those kinds of things. That's like, I'm like, oh my
All right,
god.
so
It
your
makes
goal,
me sad.
the goal is to not have a cult.
Yeah. There can be
But-
maybe a leader, but they don't have to worship the leader.
Yeah, just no worshiping. Worship on your own terms. But how about a president?
No.
Everyone's their own president.
It's serious.
All I'm saying is that at like a community, unintentionally, someone ends up being in charge.
Yeah.
That,
Alpha
okay. I agree with that. Yes.
Well,
Dictatorship.
no, not big. That's a tiny cult. Yeah. That's a big cult.
So I know you had asked her something earlier. Asked her earlier.
If you remember, you should ask because I forgot about
No, you gotta do it.
it. You
I wasn't even here.
But he wasn't
About the
here.
tourists, about-
Oh yeah. Okay. So in Hawaii, like I don't remember how I asked the question.
Say
Do
what
you
you
remember how I
feel.
asked the question? Okay. So
Cutting this part out.
no, because like I know.
How do they feel about tourists or like tourists?
Yeah, I
living
guess
over
you
there?
know. So you being born there and like
Mhm.
understanding, being in the States and also being in Hawaii, there's a big difference of being someone who lives there and then being one of us. So like we would be tourists,
Mhm.
and I know people from Hawaii. Or what I've heard is that kind of similar to like China and Japan, where people coming to visit, but they don't want you to move there because it like.
Disturbs the land.
Yeah, it's like, people there really value their culture super hard to where it's like,
Secondly, gentrifying, right? Did you say that? Or,
It's like colonization.
oh yeah, come on. Yeah, that's so weird.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's just because it's where you can go anywhere, right? If you're going to a foreign place, like you want to make sure you're doing your research and not doing anything disrespectful or anything to harm the land or the people that have built where you're going to visit. And I feel like not a lot of people think that hard in terms of Hawaii, just because it is like the 50th state, so it's a part of the United States, and people just see it as another place that America has. But
I feel like people look at it as like a Disneyland, where like
Yeah.
you can go, if you're a tourist that goes to Disneyland, you can go there and see people like throwing trash on the ground, like they don't treat it with respect versus Hawaii, where it's like this place away from the States that has a lot of value, but people don't from the States don't really look at it like that,
Yeah, there's a lot of, it's sacred land. Like anywhere you go
Right.
in Hawaii, if you touch the wrong rock or you do something, like you can get cursed or you can have bad luck because, that's like our ancestors' land. And so when you have tourists coming over, for example, like they just don't know what they're getting into, and that's why people go to the North Shore and they end up dying, or they go hiking and they fall off. It's because they're just not very cautious and careful of the type of environment Hawaii is. And it's so sacred, and I'm probably coming off biased, but I think that when people go there, they should just respect it, especially if people are wanting to move there and live there, because then people want to start their own businesses, and there's a lot of neighborhoods that are, in a sense, you could call it gentrifying, just because the native Hawaiians, they're not living in like these nice houses that we have in Texas, and they're becoming a lot nicer. It's like worth millions of dollars now. All my family, they bought their house for maybe $100,000 or less, and now it's worth over $1 million for some of them. So it's
Dang.
insane. But that's what you get when people start coming over there and like making their own value of what the land's worth. I don't know if you guys saw, but it might have been 3 years ago, they were trying to build this scientific telescope on one of the islands, and there was a huge protest that went on for months, if not a year, of just like them not building something. And then the owner of Facebook, what's his name?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. So then he tries to come and like take land as well because he says it's beneficial for the economy of Hawaii, and it's just like, no, you guys don't understand.
For his economy.
I
Right.
don't think he's human.
He's definitely an alien.
Him and Elon Musk.
Yeah. So it's just, if you go there, just do your research and respect the land that people, natives, have built there. I mean, I think that's fair for anywhere you go.
Right. I was about to say that, like, and it's funny. I was talking about that with my boss today because she's about to go to Morocco, and she said like over there it's mainly Muslim. She's like, so I can't wear like anything exposing myself, like I can't show cleavage or anything like that. And I was like, okay. So I have to wear a scarf sometimes in some places. She's like, but I want to respect them, and I'm kind of nervous in that aspect because I don't want to disrespect anybody, And a lot of people don't look at it like that. A lot of people go to certain places and they're just like,
Like,
throwing
ooh, I
trash
just want to
or-
have fun.
Even in like they're like people like driving down the road right here, like you'll just see people throwing trash down. That's disrespectful, like so disrespectful.
Don't mess with Texas.
I mean, anywhere really. Like,
Yeah.
cigarette butts, I hate that. Like, that's like
Yeah,
one
littering,
pet
I
peeve.
can't.
Like,
And in the
Why?
summer, that shit can cause fires, like really bad fires.
Yeah.
I've seen some on the side of the highway, and I'm like, why would you do that? Like, why would
Or when people
I
park.
hate that shit?
People
That's
would.
different. No, when people park crooked.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
such a trigger to me. That has nothing to do with culture. That's just places with a parking lot. But
Yeah, no, that's fair.
that's a very triggering thing for me. Where I'm like, I want to wait for this person to come in.
Disrespectful.
That's true.
So, what are some big Hawaiian no-nos for people who are watching, people listening? Like, if you were to give people like, a couple golden rules to go by, what would that be?
One, definitely don't take anything with you. Like, don't take rocks with you. Don't take anything that you see that looks like nature. Don't take it with you.
I would say that's like a natural reaction for most people going there.
Yeah, it is. They'll take
Yeah.
rocks, and I've seen people do it, and they're driving on the highway after wherever they visited, and like a tree falls on their thing, or something bad happens. I've seen it happen many, many times. It's just like, you don't mess with the land.
Yeah.
Seriously. So definitely don't take anything from that. I also
Go to
say
the gift shop.
yeah. Another thing, and this is not as deep, but just if you go to Hawaii, don't stay at Waikiki. Like that, if you're trying to go to Hawaii to experience Hawaii, why are you going to a place that looks like a city that you can go anywhere and experience what a city's like?
I've heard your song say that name.
I could get
Nicki
to Waikiki.
Minaj.
Is that it?
I could get to Waikiki.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I've heard that in the song. Okay, so don't go there.
Yeah. If you want
You should
the
have just
local
stayed in the States,
experience.
basically.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I mean, it's just like the city with a beach
Go to
next to it.
Florida.
You can go to Galveston and do that.
gotcha.
And I would just say, like, if you can't, well, this is not like a no-no, but just don't go there thinking that you're gonna get like a local, true Hawaii experience without talking to locals or like doing your research. 'Cause I know a lot of people go and they're like, oh yeah, I went to a luau and there was like fire breathing dancers, and I'm like, that is the most basic thing you could have done there.
Like resort stuff.
Yeah. Those are like the three that like come off the top of my head.
I got laid.
Oh my god.
It's so funny when people say that because my brain isn't like compute.
Oh yeah. My bad.
It's funny.
Well, shit, I guess we're gonna go ahead and finish up soon. If y'all have any other questions.
Do you want to say like you want to promote anything that you got coming up soon?
Yeah,
Shout out
just
to anybody.
when is this coming out?
So like probably 3 or 4 I gotta put out before
Okay,
this. So
okay.
maybe like a month
Okay,
or so.
Probably end of June.
End of June.
end of June. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, end of June for sure.
Day Ones is definitely out on all platforms by the time this is out, so go check it out. It's with me, Pretty Dim, and Desmond Walker. And also the music video is out on YouTube June 30th. So this is after June 30th. Go on my YouTube channel and check it out. And also make sure you follow me on Instagram at Kali the Girl. That's Kali the Girl on all platforms. And yeah, there's a lot more to come. It's fuck girl season.
Hey.
People said, "Hey."
We felt it.
Oh my gosh.
And thank you guys so much for
We're
having
fans
me.
about women empowerment and stuff. So.
Thank you for coming on. I know that was such a long drive, but we really appreciate
No,
having
this is
you
fun.
here.
I was looking forward to it, and you guys did not disappoint.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, and thank you guys for tuning in with us. And this has been
Peace out,
Listeners.
America. Peace out, world. We'll see y'all next time. In the motherfucking juice.